it's been so for here in Accra and for us in Joy News because, guess what? The Multimedia Group is launching its Habitat Fair and we'll take you live to the venue when the program starts. But in between time, let's get interactive here on Joy News Interactive, where I get to read your thoughts on issues that are being discussed, especially on social media. So what do you want? Or what do you need to do is to grab your phones, iPads, tablets, and then get your comments through to us, and we'll gladly read them on Facebook and Twitter. Joy News on TV is a handle where you need to send your messages to. My name is Miss G. I am the Entertainment General. Now, first on the menu is a widely discussed issue, and it's very confusing as to what, especially when you speak to lawyers, the legal brains have a few days since the judgment has been passed on the matter, and they have been banding their terms about the simple matter too. Some men believed to be members of the NPP militia Delta Forces last month besieged the court with chant insult, disrupted the court process, and freed their colleagues who were standing trials for attacking the Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator. Now, so these men were arraigned but have been discharged for lack of evidence. The Information Minister has released a statement saying the Attorney General's Department is investigating circumstances under which a principal state attorney in Kumasi decided without recourse to advice from higher authority on the matter of public interest of this nature to drop charges against persons arrested in connection with the disturbances in Kumasi's Magistrate Court in April this year. Then, the minority in Parliament, led by Haruna Idrisu, were also waded in, demanding the rearrest of Delta Force 8. Some have described this as hypocritical, especially when the minority NDC were in power. They had the Muntie 3 pardon by the president. Now, let's go see the minority leader addressing the press yesterday.
We demand, therefore, that the councillor's discretion that has just been exercised will be reversed immediately, and the accused rearrested and rearranged before court. We do so demanding that justice must be done, and justice must be secured, and justice must be seen being done. I find it very bizarre that the Attorney General, Ms. Gloria Akufu, who assured the entire citizen of her commitment to fairness and strict adherence to ethical principles, will claim that in doing this and exercising this constitutional discretion on grounds merely that there was lack of evidence. Lack of evidence. Even on Facebook, even on Twitter, and those of you who do social media, some evidence is available, and some evidence can be made available, and some evidence can be found. So we are encouraging them to gather good enough evidence. On the face of this action, the Ghanaian public was taken by some surprise. There was outright national condemnation of it, and therefore to say that they are proceeding on Nale Prosequa in want of evidence can only be begging the issue and satisfying partisan considerations.
Addressing the press yesterday after the 8 members of the Delta Force were released or let to go. And we've been taking your reactions on social media. Freeing of the Delta Force 8 is an exercise of political cacophonious, political jingoism, political atavism, and there's a clear indication of endorsing lawlessness and criminality in the country. Whoever took this unpopular decision, taken into to free this, in quote, he puts in quote, criminals, should have taken into consideration the decline in morality amongst the youth of today. The AG should reverse its decision immediately and let these guys go back to court for the case to continue. Are we losing the fight against violence and criminality in our society? I can't think far, he says. And hashtag Delta 8 must go back to court. And that is from Jeremiah. And Judicious Odro Eric says, I heard the minority leader and Honorable Suhini condemning the AG for the Delta Force members. I felt sad when I heard that. We were not in the same country. We're not in the same country when the AG freed Mr. Woyome about the state against Woyome. What did they do about it? Were we not here when JM freed the Montier 3, when they were jailed by court? What are they talking about? They should give us a break. And Brian says, it's only people who don't want Ghana to be better that will defend this. How would you defend this if you wish to see Ghana good for everyone? Funny president with funny ministers running a substandard, okay, Ghana pioneer. And Amwa says, why were they arrested in the first place? And you're now saying that you've been discharged for, they were being discharged for lack of evidence. Are they not the same people we saw on TV that attacked and vandalized properties? After everything, you will just let them go. These are some of the reasons why citizens take the law into their own hands. Ghana, always playing politics with everything. And Bambakia Samet says the minority in parliament can only talk, but they can't change anything. The only one that can affect or effect change and restore sanity in our Ghanaian politics is His Excellency the President. The Attorney General's office claimed that they weren't consulted by the officers in Kumasi before dropping the case. Let's see how they will handle that. Honestly, for us to believe that they are telling the truth. And the Honorable know that it is in Ghanaian political dictionary. If it is me, then okay, but not good for authors. Okay, not good for others, you're trying to say. And similar cases happened. We have independent judicial, that is all. I'm not sure what you're saying. But Bediako says the minority leader lacks substance when it comes to the issue of principles. When the Montier 3 issue broke out, what was his comment then? What a country. Logic doesn't work anymore. And your station was used to promote, okay, you have no evidence that's so. What would be your charges? None of the 8 was captured by the CCTV cameras. And Joey B says, hey, these politicians, how can our nation move forward? You're asking. And Haruna, why don't you understand your own political language? You're asking, and that's from Ano Tete. So responses from you concerning the minority leaders talk on the Montier 3. From one worrying story to the other, the U.S. Embassy has broken its silence on the state of its indebtedness to the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, saying it has not been billed for the past 2 years. The embassy says it has been chasing the power distributor to submit the bill for payment, but this has not been done. So this is what we want to do. Or is this what we want to do? Let's you share your experience with us on ECG and on this tangent. So let's know what experience you've had with ECG. And Amrich says, my dad's friend has not been billed for 3 years. We've been going there, but to no avail. They don't even care. My classmate used power for over 4 years without a bill. His mom went there almost every week, but they didn't mind her. They later paid only 1,000 cedis, and they challenged the ECG when they brought the bill that they can't pay any huge amount of money and they can't take them to court, or they can take them to court if they want. And ECG brought us a bill of over 10,000 when we only owe for the current month. We went to the office and was told the meter reader wasn't giving them the correct readings, hence our pile up and red units. Any help because this amount is unreasonable. Okay, so you were seeking help, and Japan says, so we get a new meter from the ECG, and the bill wasn't coming. I went there July 2016, they said I should pay reconnection of 224 CD. And Mensa Ziachi says, come to Wasa and see for yourself. Even North Tong, my hometown, give me bill. Take your money is problem in Ghana. ECG brought 2,831.18 for 3 months, and it's so annoying. They even want to come and disconnect. And the ferry says this is what they do all over the country and say they don't have money. And Aji says, I have been using my meter for 2 years but no bill. Some in my area at Etiwa Kwahuma are using it more than 5 years without any bill. And Ghani says ECG don't bring the bills early. They don't bring the bills early, so it's always difficult to pay early. And oh, my motherland, Ghana. And Joseph says, for the past 2 months, no bill from ECG. So your experiences with ECG is what you're sharing with us on social media. Now, my colleague in the Upper East region sent us a story this morning about a 20-year-old Memunatu Bakuri, and who hails from Dusi in the Wa East district of the Upper West region, who was expected to join her colleagues to write the just ended West Africa Senior Secondary School certificate examination. They may not, or that may not happen, because she couldn't afford 50 Ghana cedis as registration fee for the exam. She has been repeated in the second year and now has to wait till 2018 to register for the examination. Well, anytime she's on vacation, Memunatu, who is a student of Brifo Senior High School, either works as a fufu chop bar or as a head porter to fend for herself. So we've been asking, how far will you go to pay for your education? And Samed Bambakia says, this is how poor Ghanaians struggle to make it in life. This is just one out of millions, whilst our selfish leaders are up there spending thousands of cedis on frivolous things. They don't care about the poor and the needy. And education system in Ghana makes it difficult for the poor to get better access to it. We are a poor country, and yet we behave like we are rich. People suffer so many ways to get education, yet they get failed along the line due to financial support. The gap between the rich and the poor is always getting wide. God save our country, Ghana. And Graham says, some of us single-handedly work as machines and did all sorts of dirty works to get money to finance our education. Ghana education is money, so no matter how brilliant you are, without financial support, you become stagnant. It makes it difficult for the poor to go higher in education. And as the artist says, this is not new. If we can get to see some of the messages, this is not new, he's saying, and I'm sure he's saying that this kind of story is not new. Because some of us from class 3 to JHS, no father, no mother. Now I'm a welder now, but no helper. Baini says, I'll do everything possible to see myself through education, because he holds the key to unlimited opportunities. Every little drop of my life, education is money, and it gives power, says Nwabate. And Leslie says, work is good. And so people telling us how far they would go to get themselves educated. A break. When we are back, there's still more here on Joy News Interactive with me, Ms. G. Please stay. Welcome back from the break. Now let's talk some sports, because the national under-17 team in Gabon and the Starlets are dazzling. Yesterday they beat the host nation Gabon 5-0. But we are going straight to the Habitat Fairground. My colleague Mamavi Owusu-Abuaji is standing by. And okay, so I'm told that the fair is yet to start, but these are the pictures from the venue. People are already seated waiting for this year's Multimedia Habitat Fair, which will be starting in few minutes. My colleague Mama Vio Swabwaji is there, so she'll be bringing us all the updates here on the Joy News channel. So visuals from the Sweet Spirit Aliza Hotel. All right, welcome back here, and soon we'll go back to the Aliza Hotel, where we'll be bringing you this year's edition of the Multimedia Habitat Fair. But earlier you saw the game between Gabon and Ghana. The Starlets did well. They actually spelled Gabon. Earlier, they beat Cameroon by 4 goals. The team is yet to concede a goal, and the boys are on fire. But our greatest problem now is that what will happen to the boys after the tournament? Because we all know what happened to these youngsters after such showing. Reacting to this on Facebook, let's see what you have been saying. And Babake Samed, who is a regular, says this team is a God-gifted team, which is out to restore the interest of Ghanaians back to football after the senior team destroyed our appetite for football. In fact, there are no negativities about this team. This team will live long in the minds of Ghanaians. May the Almighty Allah see them through. That sounds like a poem. And Jaka says they played well yesterday. The performance was okay, but let's see what they can do in the semi-finals or finals if they qualify. Still, they are in a comfortable lead. They are taking over. And Amano says, laugh out loud, the Gabon defense was weak. Don't be impressed yet. The team looks promising nonetheless. And Abala Janet says, they played very well yesterday. I think they should keep it up. And PJ says, I really like the way they play, but they should forget about money issues and focus on the tournament. Are they really 17 years? Sure they are. And they are only playing with their kids compared to the Euro 17 players. Africa. Amazing, says Razak Abubakar. Yakubu, sorry. And those are comments from you concerning the Starlets' performance yesterday in Gabon. I wonder what the spirit in Gabon will be like now. But you'll be reacting beautifully to that match.